We're ready to continue on to Visions at the Peak with my same party, same situation, etc. And that's the next one. Now, the thing is, if you succeed at any of the missions, i.e., go to one of the locations and drop the head off, or one of your options for the dropping the head off, you will get a different mission for your success as an option. And if you fail, or as a secondary option, you can always try to do a different, well, no, actually it looks like you're not allowed to avoid the success mission, which looks like a problem actually at Gutfish Ford. But I just glanced at that, and that seems to be the case. So let's take a look at what we've got here. And yes, we still have our serpent. Okay, fungal parasite. Okay. Whether compelled by the mutterings of the soothsayer's head, yep, or by the fungal parasite ravaging your mind, the mountains beckon. The soothsayer's raspy whisper. I need to be sitting. My back is hurting me. Entices you with tales of a mystical lost temple in the mountains and the wonders of the bird king within. With the soothsayer's guidance, perhaps you can reach this isolated temple palace and plunder its magnificent treasures. Yeah, plunder. If you're playing it as a standalone mission, bounty level goes to 2, and the party starts at the stone circle. And Lord Scrot. It looks like Lord Scrot has a lock. I believe that means he gets pulled from the deck and he becomes part of the setup deck for this scenario. The Bird King awaits in his throne room for the devoted subjects, bringing offerings from the world below in exchange for his gift of transformation. The objective: at least one of us has to go to the Temple of Madness and rest there. In order to enter a metaphysical space, which it is, you must have a status, condition, or disease. I got rid of my disease, damn it. When you do, you must face Lord Scrot and either pledge yourself to him or destroy him. If the adventurer has the fungal parasite, the mission cannot be completed until that adventurer, the fungal host, rests at the Temple of Madness. Lord Scrot will not appear until the fungal host is present. If the fungal host is cured, if the fungal parasite has been discarded during the course of the mission, Lord Scrot becomes quite displeased and will not accept any offering. Scoring drugs. This is a special rule here. It is said that only true sorcerers can travel to the temple without the aid of certain mind-bending substances and obscure rituals to alter the pilgrim's perception of reality. Many such substances are available through sale. When you find any of the following encounters listed below, and interact with them in the indicated manner, like approach the Scrog Spiker, that'll be in the encounter deck. You may search the loot deck and discard the corresponding item, and discards for the corresponding item, and you can purchase it for normal cost. Facing Lord Scrot. Well, let's see. We'll get the counter there, and then we're given a choice to give him a symbolic offering. The fungal host, or any adventurer, if there's no fungal host, must discard an ally, food, herb, relic, or alchemical item and make a magic test. If you offer a relic, you may roll 3 dice and use any 2. If you pass, I don't know if I should read this. If you fail, Lord Scrot rejects your pathetic tribute, and you must fight and destroy him. And we probably shouldn't read any further. Basically, he'll want something. I'm not going to try to remember the things he'll want, because I actually don't really want to know that. I felt like I read that kind of by accident. All right. So our big deal is we have to pull Lord Scrot, and he is probably an epic monster, since he has a picture there. There's much reason for us to pass, although I probably should have sold this piece of garbage. Everybody else, I think, is carrying too heavy. That's not, so he does not have a heavy item, but he's got 2. Which is, you know, there's a good reason for me to get rid of that. I'm gonna sell it, actually, to get rid of it, because I don't want that garbage, and it's expensive. Is there anything else I wanted to get rid of here? The silver shot's useful. This thing looks like it probably is useful. I'm using the bastard sword occasionally. It's not terribly much better than the arquebus. It's an extra power die if I use this two-handed, but what the hell. I can always sell it later, and I guess that's about it. I've got some options as to what I might want to do. I could walk maybe this way over here to the hunt lodge, and then land on any road. And there are some roads of interest. I believe I could get over here, or I could get over here. This is not apparently. I don't know what this is part of. I think it's just the Slaver's Pass, but I don't know. Is that actual road section? I'm not absolutely certain. Let's see. Yeah, the Slaver's Pass is actually a region, so I think it kind of extends only through this. I don't see much else. Well, the Temple of Madness is in it, I guess. And that's where we're heading. So that doesn't sound like a terrible idea to get us closer. The alternative is to walk up and then maybe sail down or walk through all the problems of the Goblin world. That doesn't sound like a good idea. I've got that stagecoach ticket. I think we'll do that. This is not a road, it's a path. It's not explored, so we have to move. We might as well move cautiously. And we'll keep going into the swamp. Nothing exciting happens except we draw a danger card. And surreal horrors beyond comprehension whisper obscene curses within the eerie echoing chambers of the tunnel of horror. That sounds like a fun place. And that's kind of where we're going. And I'm not putting things back in the sprue, if you wish. This is not an explored space, so it's got a 4. I am not in the sunken village. I am in the rotting swamp, so I'm not facing anything. And we're done with the first turn. At this point, I think Hag's Fork is a location, and we have to visit it. We can't just move from road to road. So we'll go in there, again, cautiously. And let's see, that's got trees, okay. Well, same situation, we draw a card, nothing exciting. Bandits and their unnatural allies in the Watchtower, which is yellow, should be here. Need a 4. Uh-oh. All right, I'll be back. There is no noose here anymore, if there ever was. So we're dealing with the Witchwoods, which we're facing something. We will get a lowlands encounter. So resolve immediately. Hallowed ground. Encounter environment. Ooh. The ground. Oh, that's if we're outdoors, which we are. The ground before you is warded with magical sigils. Some eldritch spirit of death is imprisoned here, and only a fool would dare disturb it. Each adventurer in this place must face a magic test or morale test. If you have warding, you get a bonus. If you fail, you lose a luck. And if any adventurer fails, they get the danger level increased. Okay, so what is it? Magic or morale? Alright, well, I'll make those tests, and then I'll draw some monsters and assign them, because we're going to be facing 4 monsters there. The person to fail is him. He spent his luck instead. He's going to re-roll the dice. And he succeeds, so I avoid the bad effect there by doing that. which is raising the danger level. It's worth a luck to prevent that. No arrival abilities showed up. He's stuck with 3 of the 4. The other one is over here. Let's look at their special capabilities. Ugh. It's getting hard here. Infect. When you receive 1 or more wounds from this monster, you become infected. I don't know. What's this? Fuck. No wound recovery. Okay. Well, he's already demoralized. What the hell? Might as well. Command. This is new. All other monsters in the same space with a lower experience value and at least a class matching heretic here only, not anything else. Get a +1 attack. Do I have any heretics? I have this, and that's it. So he'll be a 5 as long as this is alive. Necro, remember that steals experience. And Horde Vermin. This is Vermin, so as long as that's alive, he has a +1 attack. So, you know, our life's kind of cut out for us here. It's not too hard. Goes by, he did a swing and a miss with his big sword. He fired his pistol off, killed the Mega Rat. He fired his blunderbuss off, killed the cultist, which is important because that Necro could be annoying. He fought, was unable to get his defense roll, so he ended up taking 3 points of damage, but he also killed the guard here. And now it's time to shoot up the Murder Knight, and he's got his arquebus loaded and ready. So maybe he'll be able to do it. It's not that big, but you got to get kind of lucky. Otherwise, somebody else may be able to plink it off with a lucky shot. He finished it off with his pistol. The arquebus was not sufficient to kill it. Probably couldn't have been. It's because I couldn't roll a 6. Like I rolled a 6, it could only do 5 points of damage. I forgot the foe killer doesn't work unless it's melee, which I thought was. And I drew something kind of cool, this dart pistol, which is actually pretty awesome, except I don't have any darts to go with it. The character I took in to kill the Serpent Lord, one of his big bonuses was he had this thing and the poison darts. And you can kind of pepper a powerful creature with them. And if you get through his armor, which isn't that hard, he doesn't have all that much. He has, what, 2 points. If you get through his armor, you start just causing damage to him continuously. But this doesn't do damage in and of itself. I don't have anything that I can shoot from it except darts. I think it's hard to tell. It has attack, agility, range, but then it has this special effect here, and it says "Do not inflict any wounds." I think maybe that's. I'm pretty sure that's intended to be this thing can only shoot darts. So if you don't have darts, you're not going to be able to do any wounds with it. But that's not the way other weapons work, and it's a little iffy. Anyway, he got lucky. Other people didn't get as much experience. He got a 3-point experience thing, which is great. Found an item of rare value for sale in the town market. Well, I am not actually in a town yet, so this doesn't show up, but I do get to keep drawing another loot. And I find these fortune cards. Choose a willing adventurer in your space or yourself and reveal the top card of the danger deck. If the space on that card matches your current region, the chosen adventurer gains a luck. If it has no region, the chosen adventurer loses a luck. Discard the revealed card without resolving it. It requires a magic of 8 to use. I don't know, maybe that's just money, or maybe it's worth taking a shot with. I don't know. The Soothsayer's Head, it might be worthwhile, because the Soothsayer's Head allows you to peek at decks. There's a cost to it, I think, or something. Maybe just go insane. I don't know. You have to roll some dice or something for it in order to do it. But that is actually an interesting facet. Here we had a success, which means combat success. So we actually lowered the risk level. And you'll notice, in general, these raise it by 1. If you're lucky on a turn, and if you fight something and do well, you lower it by 1. But in general, these things are going up by 1 each turn across the board, and it's not going to be easy to counteract that. Now, when you fight epic monsters, you can drop it all the way down to 1. But yeah, you got to find some other way to keep that number down. Otherwise, this thing's going to fill up on you. Right. So I'm going to move on to this next trial space. But you know what? I'm going to start moving boldly. The reason being, I got to deal with these numbers and start knocking them down. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is to get into more fights. I got to be able to counter whatever values are coming out. I got to be able to get luck from fights, stuff like that. So I feel like I'm pretty tough right now. So let's go ahead with that. And this is without resting, even though he's a little wounded. This deck is going to have to be reshuffled, but nothing exciting happens on that. Goblins chant and call forth noisious horrors bubbling up from the burning lakes. Burning lakes is here, I guess. That gets me a 5 there. And yeah, you can see problems are coming forward. Now, I get something, and I don't have to try to hunt in order to succeed. So I am going to get one of these. It says, hey, read it immediately. Okay. Let's deal. And Imperial forces set up a checkpoint in this area to protect the honest citizens, that's not us, and dangerous wandering miscreants like yourself. Discard this card without resolving it if there's a non-law epic monster in your space. No. Otherwise, reduce the danger level in your space and draw monsters from the law deck instead of the lowlands monster deck. This turn. These are troops summoned to the checkpoints. You may approach them, masquerading as a common citizen, bribe them, fight them, or search for an alternate route. I don't want to read the rules on this, but the first thing that happens is that gets dropped. And okay, well, I'm not one into bribing. Could I approach them as normals? I don't see fighting law being particularly helpful. That's not going to reduce this value. So yeah, let's approach them. If we have to fight them, we fight them, right? Let's see. And draw monsters from the law deck instead of the lowlands monster deck. I don't think we get to know what they are until we pick. Approach, roll a d6. Subtract 1 for each rogue, warlock, and or wild, and add 1 for each merchant, militant, or puritan. If the total is equal or less than the bounty level, which is 1, you have to fight them. Otherwise, you talk your way past the checkpoint. If you have clever disguise, that's hilarious. Or official papers, you get an extra die and use the highest. Okay, let's see. That's a rogue. This is a militant. They cancel out. This is a militant. I don't think a wizard is a problem. It's warlocks, right? Some types of magic are a problem, some aren't. Yep, and I don't see any wilds. So I think we cannot possibly fail. So I'm not going to draw from the law deck. And basically, nothing happened. We talked our way out of it. That's cool. Except for the fact that it raised one of the values. Right. I want to take a look at this. I don't believe I have to actually rest to do this. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to move into here. Bold, might as well. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Because, well, this is a law space. Let's sneak in there. No reason to fight the law. We can't rest this turn. However, We do draw a danger card. And then there's other stuff that can happen. Robbers, mutants, and worse rest travelers on the wind-blown highland roads of the foothills. It's over here. And then we're indoors. The numbers of 5. We're not going to meet anything there. It's compared actually again. No, it's not. It's not a law card. It doesn't make a difference. We're safe there. There's no law event on it. However, we've got 2 things we want to do. We're going to use our filching familiar. That just says you have to be in a settlement. No effect. And then I am going to discard the stagecoach ticket, and we are going to go to a location connected to a road in the borderlands. That's the board. I hope. This is the Highlands. This is... what is red? I hope red's not the borderlands. Although that's not a terrible choice, to tell you the truth. No, that's the Badlands. Okay, so we could go here to Last Chance, or we could go to Pigskin Port. Both are equally far away. He does not have his anti-goblin thing, so we're going to go to Pigskin Port. Looks like a safer place to be. Is there something we want to do there? Not really. We're trying to get to the Temple of Madness. However, there's a problem. In order to do this, we have to get ourselves drugged up, or something. Uh-oh. Let me think about this for a moment. So far, we haven't found anything that gave us drugs. So here in Pigskin Port, we are going to rest, and we'll do it boldly so that we can do stuff. He's the only injured person, so I think he's the only person who has to make a recovery roll. That's how I'm playing it. It's not clear that that's the actual rules. And he is hunky-dory. Now from there, we can explore. Who has the perception? This is an indoor location, so there's no bonus. An 8 is good, but did he kill anything? I don't think so. An 8. He's got an 8. I don't see anybody who has any real bonus here. We succeed, so we get the bonus for that. That'll give us these. Yep. That'll give us 1 more card, which is kind of important because we're trading. I'm not triggering this yet. Let's keep looking at other things. We can improve it. We can improve ourselves, and we can invest in the town and increase its level. Increasing its level sounds like a good idea. That'll get us more cards. It's expensive, but we got a fair amount of money. And we may sell some stuff too, like this is a lot of money. I like this card though, so I'd like to hold on to it. These stupid cards, I'll probably sell them. This thing might be useful. I don't want to sell shit that I'm going to use. So, alright, and on top of that, we'll also look for skills because he's got 8. He doesn't have something that'll go up. I don't know if he's destroyed a human yet. I'm so bad at keeping track of all the different cards. He doesn't have much. He doesn't have much. Yeah, we're not going up levels unless he wants something that's an 8-point card, which I don't think he does. I think he wants higher cost cards. And I think what he really wants to do is achieve mastery so he can get another level. and this has more of a chance of avoiding targets on the first round of combat. So nobody's doing improve, invest. We're going to come up with 20 bucks and raise that up to a 4. And then we will be doing trade and drawing a bunch of cards. I found a whole bunch of shit I don't want. Sacrificial dagger. The hunting bow's nice, but it's a heavy item. He might want it simply because he could fire when he's not able to use the when he's not able to use this. So that might be worthwhile. It has a required agility of 7. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell the bastard sword and buy this. That gets me 4 bucks. Because I got this Deadeye shot. Unfortunately, I have this foe killer, which is good for melee combat. I still have the arquebus that I can slap people with, but the foe killer was kind of the reason I took that thing. Another option would have been to buy this, which does everything that two-handed sword did, and I could have gotten a couple of gold for that. But I like the Dead-Eyed shot. I wish I could use his meditation to get rid of something. This, which is just garbage, it's actually a terrible thing, and I don't know why you'd want to create it as an alchemist, but you could. And then this, which is a piece of food, but doesn't get us a status that we want. It could get us poisoned if we were reptilian. We have a reptilian. But the chance of that seems low. And let's take a look at metaphysical, because I think only the characters who have a status can go forward. Ooh, he had a status. Shit. He just lost it. Huh. I'm going to send my familiar out, see if he finds me something. But the problem is we can't bring many people with us. Even if I get one status 2, increase the danger level. Well, that sucked. That brings us back to 3. There goes the money we spent, basically. Oops. And, well, we don't know. We don't know what to do. I mean, we can't even force march, which might get a bunch of us fatigued. So I'm not quite sure how to pick up a status at this point. Yeah, he would have sold this for 4. That sounds like a good idea. Piles of money. He would have had lots of money to buy something if he wanted it, but he doesn't have that, and I don't know what to do. I guess we'll go hunting and hope we find something nasty on the way in. We still have to deal with this shit, too. Encounter phase for this. So, horde swamp creatures raid and vandalize the stone circle. We got a 1, but it's not a law event, so we have no problem. But the stone circle gets reduced to a 1. We moved boldly into here looking for trouble, and we found it because of that 1 there. Feel a chill run down your spine. That just reshuffles the danger deck. That's kind of cool. Because it means nothing increased. This is about the only way that can happen. However, I get an encounter. I don't see play immediately anywhere on there, so I'm not going to read it. And we're going to face 4 yeller critters in the Highlands, and we hope we can figure out some way that we can get at least most of our characters into the Temple of Madness. It doesn't have to be everyone, but, you know, I'd like to get these 2 at the very least. We found us a bunch of nasties, that's for sure. All right, first of all, fear, but only in a metaphysical. That's not the case, but we get rally here. I believe that means there's another critter for an arrival ability. Yeah. This little target, and a couple of them have that. This guy has it too. That means it's a ranged attack, if that matters. This has a summons, but only in a town I'm not, or in a settlement. Like if I was here, it would cause that. This has pursue, which means I can't run away, and I am outdoors, so that's a problem. But this has pierce, which I bet you means all its damage is piercing, and that's a problem for him to have. He may not be the one who wants to take that on. Yeah. But that has a lot of armor on it, so it's hard to kill too. This is problematic. He's lowest agility. It could be anyone. I'm going to give that over here. It's not ideal, but at least he can shockwave. Illusionary double might help. There's a few things that'll help with that. So the first thing though is the rally. So we get another critter. Bloodsport, Bruiser, Human Bandit. It's going to go after highest strength, and it annoys. Now, he's immune to annoy, which is cool, because otherwise you must use guard stance against it. So that's kind of a problem. I don't see anything I terribly have to hit. His summons ability only affects in the red, so that's not an issue, but he has a regenerative 2, which means I kind of either want to kill him in a round or, leave him the fuck alone. To be a good time to use caltrops, but it's not affected by range, and those guys, I believe, yeah, those guys have range. That's what it indeed means. I could do some damage, piercing damage to each of these, but I'm less worried about them, to tell you the truth. What I'm really worried about is the things he's got on him. So let me see what I can do about him. Not going terribly well here. Did a lot of damage to the Mountain Warlock. However, he's the guy with Regenerate 2. Over here, almost no damage. Most of the shots missed. The loser double didn't come into play, so I've taken 5 hits. He's taken 4 hits, got a bad roll on his defense, and it's looking ugly. Not sure where to go from there. Really not looking good. His illusionary double is out because it's no longer first round of the fight. He manages to avoid getting hit this time, but nothing advantageous happened at all. And he got clobbered pretty hard, failing both his attack and defense roll. I have luck. I just didn't feel like I wanted to use it yet, but pretty soon I'm going to kind of have to. On to another round. The only thing to say good about it is the blunderbuss is loaded again. Things are starting to turn around. Hunting Bow takes out the Warlock. He picked off the Raider back here. He got some shots in on the Terror Tower. I really ought to be loading that arquebus up because that's probably the best weapon for it, but the weighted pistol isn't too bad. You can always provoke and take that tower, but the piercing damage takes away a lot of his advantages, so it's kind of painful to choose that, so he's probably going to just try to finish that thing off. This 3 armor is really tough to take out, and that's probably the big problem here. The 2 firearm characters reloaded. He managed to avoid taking more damage. He didn't do anything. He hit, but he didn't do anything. And he got his other critter there. If it comes around to him, he's going to poke that thing and try to finish it off. But we're hoping that the arquebus, the pistol, are able to take it out. And the blunderbuss is pretty unlikely to. Be the power of the arquebus. Now I'm going to resolve things and see if anything cool comes of that. Maybe I'll be able to get a status out of this. Actually, it would have been kind of nice if I had killed that thing, or if I had done this. spent my money in order to become demoralized, but then I would only be one person going forward. I can't afford to do that. So he had an auto item, which was he was able to pick up this mold meter. Now this could be used, I think, to poison himself. It says to remove the fungal parasite, but I guess you could use it on yourself just to poison yourself if I need a status. But it's kind of useful at getting rid of funguses, which means if I go back to the swamp, I kind of want that. So I don't know if I want to just get rid of it. However, we still have this reshuffle. We look at this. We are not in a metaphysical, so we find a caravan. A small but guarded troop of traveling merchants crosses your path. The guards eye you warily and look ready for a fight, but the merchants are eager to trade. I think we'd rather trade. Oh, we did something good. We reduced something. I think this is all the foothills. I think it's down to a 2. I'm not sure, because this looks like it's a different color from this, right? Is the bandit camp in the foothills? That's interesting. That's the way you kind of can find these out, because the visuals are not so good. The foothills and Slavers Pass. Yeah, so the bandit camp is in the foothills, so that goes down. And we wanted to trade because we got things we want to do. Draw D3 plus 2 allies or items from the loot deck. In morale order, each adventurer may purchase one or more of these cards or sell their own for half the listed cost. Let me make sure I'm selling things properly, because I thought you just get the money for them, but that may not be the case. Trade. Half their listed price, so I actually lost money. I don't know if I wanted to do that then. You know what? I'm gonna find that and get that back. I thought I was trading up or trading down, but if I only got 5, I would have had to pay 1 for this. So I'm gonna get rid of that $4 and throw this thing away, because this is almost as good. Since he almost never has monsters on him, he can sneak up and schwack them with his foe killer, and that's good. I like the bow, but it doesn't make sense. The bow works well because of his dead-eye shot, right? Okay. So what are we doing here? These are going to be only allies or items. And in morale order, starting up there, I can buy items. I didn't get what I wanted, but I got some interesting cards. Notably, the Bone Totem here, which is a relic, and I vaguely remember something about relics when I was glancing at this. Maybe I shouldn't know that, maybe I should. But I think there's a bonus for having relics, so I want to buy that. I'm also going to buy this chicken feed. Goblins and vermin that have 1 XP or less cannot attack until your next turn, then discard this card. Hey, if we can throw some garbage down and they'll eat it, that's worth a gold for. And we're obviously going to have to rest. I'll end up doing so boldly and exploring, but I'm pretty tired right now, so I think we're going to swap out the battery and probably crash. I had to get up stupid early because I went in thinking, hey, I'll get my teeth repaired. Well, it turns out nothing's that simple. I got them x-rayed and got told, yeah, we'll need you on a different day. Well, I mean, they kind of knew they needed to do some stuff, but I guess, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I kind of expect it to be like, bring your car to a repair shop, and it's annoying and everything, but you can wait around for 2 hours, come back, and you got your car and it's ready, if it's a minor thing. And And this is just going to be a couple of, hour or two sessions or whatever. But, instead of discussing it and looking at the pictures the whole time, it would have been nice to actually, given that I had to take like 4 hours because I have to walk there and back, it would have been nice if I could have gotten at least part of it actually taken care of today. But no, I don't know. I've never gone through this before except for the emergency room thing that eventually ended up with me getting my wisdom teeth extracted. And that was not done in the emergency room. That was done much later. Oh well. I think our decision is to rest boldly. The main reason being we don't have any statuses accumulated yet. And at the very least we can search then and maybe run up and down the road or whatever is involved in it, in order, by forced marching, in order to maybe exhaust ourselves or something. It's not the best solution, but I don't know how we're going to get a bunch of statuses in order to go into here. And I find it kind of a weird rule. I mean, exhausted shouldn't get you in there. I understand being drugged or whatever being a reasonable choice, but it's a little odd. All right. So I'll take care of the rest. We explored, and after gaining some skills, mend wounds over here, and track for him. The tracking succeeded, and everybody healed completely. And now I draw this interesting card. It allows me to reshuffle forces me to reshuffle the danger deck. I'm not in a dangerous spot, so I get a 6. This area is actually a 5. No, it's the fucking foothills. It's a 2. Okay, so there's no chance. I was gonna actually try to encounter this because it would give me an epic monster, and I'm like, well, that's likely to cause effects on people. The danger, of course, being we'll probably have to rest after we take the epic monster, but maybe we would get lucky, but no. So we meet nothing. The deck gets reshuffled, and I think our next move is going to be into here again boldly because we want to encounter stuff. It's the only way we're going to get anything, it seems. Circle is no longer a safe place. Oh no, we're going to get triggered. Sorry. And we get an encounter, which appears to be a resolve immediately. Non-metaphysical shadows of doom. You gaze to the north and the sky darkens. In your mind, the Temple of Madness looms above you as it casts its shadow over the war strike, and you can feel its sinister influence gradually crushing your will. Increase the danger level at the Temple of Madness. And everybody here has to make a morale test. If they fail, they become demoralized and suppressed. Well, that's bad. And then we're going to be drawing some monsters. Okay, we pulled a dimwit in. Remember, they roll their die, and that might actually be a benefit for him. He's only got a 4. This is a horde of weirds. I got a weird, so that's bonused. The tree terror could have gone to multiple people. I took it on the mage, on my banished sorcerer, because he's probably the most able to avoid problems. But it's got ambush outside, and I'm outside, and a curse. The ambush, everyone has to make a perception check. This could stun them for a round. The curse could demoralize if he fails his magic test, but he's the least likely to do that. Cleared everything out. Unfortunately, it took 2 rounds, but unfortunately the belligerent hooligan here is a bandit, but he's not listed as human, probably an error. But if we look over here, the hired guard is human. There may be a balance factor in there. I'm not going to add attributes. He sure looks human, but who knows? Maybe he's not in this case. Whatever. He's less human, even if he's a human being. He's not human enough to engage my remorse. Again, move boldly, hoping to pick up some more attributes as we pull into Slaver's Pass. Gutfish Ford is no longer safe, and this is almost certainly not a law place. So yeah, we'll be facing a pile of yellow monsters. Our mage decides to make himself useful and takes them all on. He's going to be doing a shockwave, and we're hoping lucky things will happen. The only really iffy thing here is Fury, I think? Is that the one? No. Onslaught, I guess, is. The monster gets +1 attack when targeting an adventurer who's in guard. I'm planning on going into guard here, but, you know, maybe I'll get lucky with the illusory double and be able to knock him out. Otherwise, I got a couple of people who can shoot first and clear him out, and we'll just see what we get out of this. But yeah, we're doing a lot here, and there's possibility of throwing the caltrops down too. Although he probably doesn't want to do that till he shoots, because he gets a bonus if he kills something that doesn't have any damage on it. Well, we beat up the monsters. They were all very weak. This is a bad sign. This means the deck's probably filled with nasties at this point. Or maybe this is just a weaker area, but I suspect rather that the areas are fairly balanced and that we're going to start seeing some really nasty shit if we're not careful. That was actually really easy. A set of little monsters like that would be tough for starting characters to face. We had difficulty with big bands of little monsters, but at this point, there's enough skills, etc., and equipment that we're pretty much able to beat the shit out of a bunch of little monsters without any real risk. That was very, very easy. Nobody got any big bonuses, though. He got a luck off of killing someone he was able to provoke, but nothing was found, even with his bonus. And all we got out of it was really this. The question is, hey, do we want to maybe explore the space so that we can run up and down it? I don't know. There's really not much advantage to exploring this space. We can run up and down this space for whatever value that has. I forgot to unleash my familiar last turn. Anyway, I think I'm going to wander away for a little bit, but I moved into the bandit camp. That triggered the Toll of Terror going up to a 6. That's getting to kind of a scary level. And then when I did the Filching Familiar, that just upgraded the danger level. Now, the card I drew, I could hunt, and if I'm successful, face something. Unfortunately, I'd be facing 6 small critters. Do I want to do that? Is that my way of getting through and into the Temple of Madness? Maybe. Or is 6 critters too dangerous? Remember, I've been pulling some little guys here. I think we're going to go for it. Now, for hunting, we've never done that before. Looking to see if it's covered here on any of these. I don't see it. So we'll flip back into the rules. I'm used to trying to escape. Everybody's got to succeed. I think just one person has to succeed in a perception. Or no, it's the majority. The majority have to succeed in the perception test, if I'm correct here. Unfortunately. If more adventurers pass than fails, you may reduce the danger card by 1, making it more likely to find danger. So I think we're going to try to do that. However you want to look at it, fortunately or unfortunately, only 2 of us made it, which means 2 of us didn't. It's not a majority, so it doesn't happen. I had mixed feelings about trying to do that. And now we're going to just keep bopping back and forth, I guess, trying to get status on enough characters. This guy's, suppressed and demoralized. I can't figure out an easy way to get a status. I guess this guy could poison himself, but we're hoping to find something. The chicken feed isn't going to help. Found a bunch of monsters, and honestly, I think we have actually found some pretty big things, like that walking tower and stuff. Found a bunch of monsters here. Strangely enough, this guy, with his high agility, attracted a couple of them. That hasn't happened before. I've actually got a fairly big spread out. I have one arrival ability, which is gas. That can poison everyone. Can we just agree to fail? We have to make a contest. If we fail, we become poisoned. That's probably going to get a fair number of my characters able to enter the temple. We may split the party if, one guy isn't available or whatever, although he could be being sacrificed in that case. One of the characters got the bonus poisoning, and not having a lot of luck here in terms of the die rolls. But what that's meant is I've spent luck, and because in the case of the sharpshooter, he had a chance to kill this guy, would have gotten perhaps luck back. He didn't. This guy got a kill by spending a luck, got a luck back. But you can see he's picked up a lot of damage, which isn't good because he's one of my few people who has status. Maybe we'll find something dangerous in the loot, but yeah, it's really tough to acquire status. And if we get wounded enough, we're gonna have to heal. If we heal, then these go away. Tank is very, very good at schwacking things, when he's got nothing on him. He's generally not been gaining too much experience, but now he's beginning to rack up the kills while other people are dealing with their situation. Here, just basically block the damage. These guys both reloaded because their attacks aren't terribly useful without. His might have been valuable, but I'm looking at, I really want to kill this armored stuff. There were a couple of armored things out there. Now it doesn't look as dangerous. I'm kind of like, I should have schwacked it. But the thing is, if I go with him first, I can get extra luck by killing the beekeeper first. I have 2 armor off, so that's pretty good. That arquebus is pretty good. Okay, only 1 loot out of it. This fancy saber, it adds 1 to morale when equipped. Since I'm hauling around this bastard sword, and I have a strength of 7, I'm going to let, this doesn't seem to have any requirement at all, I'm going to let him use it. He's got the higher agility. It gives him a melee weapon. That way when his blunderbuss goes out, he can engage. Our musketeers are becoming a little bit better equipped for mixed combat. Interesting question. I'm wondering whether or not, I shouldn't have sold the bow and arrow. I should have given it to him. Give him a ranged weapon as well. But we're hauling a lot of crap, and it doesn't really hurt. But we didn't do much. All we did was reduce the risk level there. And I think we're heading back to the bandit camp. We got enough cash on hand that we may start investing if we do a rest, but our rest is going to clear these fuckers out, and I can't afford that. The big question is, do I want to go in with 2 characters, one of whom is fairly badly injured? And the answer is no, I don't. So, boldly, we move back to the bandit camp. I drew a boatload of monsters. A whole bunch going against him. Command is dangerous. That's all other monsters with a lower experience point value, and, it would have to be a weird. There's a weird that'll be bonused. This, I don't know what to talk about. It's totally different color, and doesn't, here's another weird. This anyone can take, except for him. I don't have any clue what's up with that thing. This has arrival abilities of petrify and evade. Now evade doesn't look like it's in the proper location for, and I don't think it is an arrival ability. It is not listed as one, so it's over here. It means when you attack this monster with melee, if you roll doubles, you miss. Okay. Petrify those in arrival. Each person has to make an agility, or they might be stunned. The only exception being that the... nope, that's not a shield. I think I gave that as a bonus before. So yeah, that actually hurts him. The only... yeah. So we've got that possibility, and we've got the ambush, which I think also stuns, right? Ooh. Stunned for 1 round, petrified is stunned until the fight ends. So this is a little worse. This does not appear to be an epic monster. I don't know why it's black. I can't find anything in the rules to determine why he's that color. I just don't know what to say about him. This was looking kind of ugly, so spend some luck to get some luck. Basically, the Arquebus, he was just short of getting, he basically had to re-roll 1 die and would have gotten, with a success, he would get an auto kill, which might generate luck. It did so. Same thing over here. He actually spent 2 luck and got 1 killing this, but also preventing any damage to him. He didn't spend luck, but he blew up his guy and didn't take any damage. He took a few points of damage, but that's okay. Things are not as bad as they were a moment ago. I've got support from a couple of characters, although they've used their big weapons already. And the mighty characters are able to pretty much take out the rest without any damage. The one exception being this ogre thug is still around. However, I was able to defend against him, and now we've got the snipers able to take him out. Big question, who wants to get the points for him? Who's gonna get them is the other question. The most likely kill is actually... It's an extra power die. That is not big enough to trigger the foe killer, and that's only, that's any target with 3 or more. It's human, so I could get the remorse trigger, but that doesn't really help me. So I don't see anything that is going to help get somebody else's status at this point. I had a lot of loot draws, 3 of them. One is this hunting net. Now he can't carry this, but we can resolve this, I think, before he has to carry it. And I'm gonna toss the bone totem over to him. No, that doesn't help. It's got to be something heavy. No, I'll toss him the hunting net. It's actually better for him to have it. He's carrying a heavy item. Carrying 2 of them may not make a lot of sense. I don't know. We'll give it to him. But the other problem is we have 2 of these. A sack slasher and a pickle goblin. Both are ambush, so we do an ambush check. This one goes after whoever has the most gold. And he's got a thief ability, which means he might steal money and run away if we don't kill him. I don't know if they run away. No, it's the skirmisher that runs away. The thief just steals money, but then whoever kills him gets the money, so that may not be a big deal. And then this other one has Berserk, which is worst, and he'll go after the person with the most perception. I have a bunch of choices for that, so I'll throw that on the mage too, because the mage, that way that frees up 2 people, and the mage can try to blow him up with a shockwave. Maybe he'll get away with it at the illusionary double. Looking up rolls if I don't need to. We quickly killed those off. He blew a luck. Chance at getting a luck back didn't happen. But the rule I didn't want to look up was whether or not I can get more loot from these things. I think I can, so I rolled for them. This, we successfully fought one battle there, the other battle doesn't get a chance to check. And now, Nexus of Power. Guided by unseen energies flowing through the highlands, you come to a focal point of magical force, a nexus of ley lines, where the cunning might find passage through space and time. That sounds promising. Each adventurer with a Mag 7 or more may attempt a Mag test. If at least one adventurer passes, place a void gate in your space. That doesn't sound good. But everybody who passed becomes exalted. If every adventurer who failed the test failed, those adventurers become suppressed. Well, that sounds like we want to do this no matter what. We either all become exalted, which allows us to enter, or we all will become suppressed. I don't remember what suppressed does, though. That's my only worry here. Detained is not useful. I don't see it. It's definitely not there. Creating a void gate is not the best of things. I don't know where suppressed is. Oh, it's probably the back of exalted. Yeah, penalty to magic, but that's okay. I mean, it would suck for him, but everybody else can get away with it. So we're going to try that. Actually, we do not want to try it because we don't want to create a void gate. That doesn't seem useful. The void gate isn't going to allow us into the Temple of Madness, and I misread this. It's only each adventurer who passed who becomes exalted. Well, the only two people who have enough magic to pass this already have a status. Are also already wounded. So screw that, man. We're not going to be able to get any advantage. I mean, getting my magic up, sure, that's great, but it's not worth the cost. A couple more little things. I'm here. I can roll and die. Oh, shit. We just lowered that shit. All right.